All right, hello, everyone. It's good to see you all. We are here for the first match of the Hollow Knight 90% tournament between Cara and Eocampos. I apologize, I'm probably butchering that name, but I am here with Guanky. We're going to be taking you through this match today. How you doing, Guank?
I am great. Welcome to the Hollow Knight Any Percent Tournament, boys and girls and other gender non-conforming people.
That's
Lock
right.
in.
Oh,
Oh, it's time.
we're ready.
It's time. It's time for Hollow Knight Any Percent Tournament, hosted by the
Commercial
one and
break in
only Skate
progress.
King.
Yeah. And Guank, you're playing in this tournament too, right? I imagine somebody of your level got a first round bye.
Yes. Well, there was actually quite a few people who got a first round bye because I think the number of people was somewhere near like 48. So there was like a third of the people in the tournament or something got a bye.
Gotcha.
Um, so yeah, I think
Yeah,
the buys went all the way up to like 35 ish.
jeez. Yeah, on that note, honestly, why don't you give anybody who's since this is the first match of the tournament, anybody tuning in probably doesn't know everything. Why don't you give a rundown on the format of the tournament in terms of the bracket style, elimination, etc.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. It's $600 prize pool. Top four pays out, and it's just double elimination with starting with a play-in tournament. Um, or like not really a play-in tournament, but a play-in round to get to the round of 32. So there's about
Gotcha.
16 players who have a bye, I think. And then the other 32-ish approximately have the play-in to get to the round of 32, and that is what this match is going to be. Actually, I take it back. The buys probably don't go to 35. I mean, Kara's in this play-in and she has a 33. So, um, no need to worry. I'm feeling reborn, reformed, and motivated today. So I think this Discord name will be quite fine.
Well, it's glad to hear you're feeling reborn, reformed, and motivated. Do we have the runners counting down at this moment, or is anybody communicating with them?
They I assume they'll work that out on their own
Gotcha.
whenever that
Sweet.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
So
very exciting one.
this really awesome thing happened today. I was super tired because I got not enough sleep last night, and I just was on my way home from classes. Forgot my house key and had to wait like 45 minutes for my mom to get home so that I could
Oh
actually
no.
get in. And then I finally got in. I was like, it's time to put on my pom pom Purin pajamas and hop into my cozy bed. And I was like 5 seconds from unconsciousness. And then I was like, I got a match to come.
That's so unfortunate.
um, Shout out to the pom pom Purin pajamas. You can see them in JX's selfies channel or in my chatting channel.
Well,
Um,
definitely be sure to look at that.
So Kara's
Um,
off. She's already got on a good start. Eocampus, notably, is playing on 1432. So there isn't any sort of like handicap implemented in the tournament for that, I don't believe.
right.
So they will be taking just like a solid flat. I mean, I assume it's the same route and not Isma's because it's a really top level route. So
Yeah.
it's going to be probably a 140 ish. I don't know exactly the time, but it's quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see any runners doing either of the technically optimal routes for either patches in this tournament. That being one, what you just said for 1.4 plus the Ismos route. I'd be shocked to see that. And two, the itemless Balder skip for 1221 now. I'd also be extremely surprised to see anybody doing that in this tournament, but you never know.
You never know.
All right, so Kara going into the well. I didn't see when the door broke, but Kara going in at 116.
Dude, I don't even
Um,
remember the times anymore. Like a 50 is like a 13. So 116 would be so like 51 is like 114 flat. So that was probably like a 53.
could have been.
Like a 53 flat probably.
Yeah, and
And
then
EO Campus is just playing with the giant cutscene at the start of the game, so it's gonna be a lot later.
Right, and 124 into the welt there too, so about the difference we would expect given the patches both players are playing on. Good double spike from Cara there. She hits that perfectly. EO actually getting the inventory drop there, which again isn't as free as on earlier patches of the game. You kind of have to open your inventory right as you walk off a ledge, making it a bit harder. But double spike is quite a bit easier on later patches of the game. We'll see if EO does well here. Well executed.
Yeah, in addition to the added minute and a half to two that you get added on by playing current patch, or I guess this isn't current patch anymore, but it basically is. Um, you also just have the downside of it just being harder. Like the run is just definitely harder on 1432 than it is on 1221.
Right. All right, Cara going into the false knight fight here. One of the first RNG checks of the run. We're not talking about tons of time loss or gain, but a couple seconds here and there. Let's see.
I hope nobody does any major glitches this run.
Yeah.
I really hope so. I'm getting nervous already just thinking about it.
Are there any major glitches that you could see happening accidentally that you're worried about?
Not in particular. I mean, there's this one where the elevator just like teleports, but I don't really know why it happens.
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy. I
not
don't
even
think
gonna lie, it
anybody.
just happens randomly. So I've seen it happen to Cara before. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
um,
maybe one day our community will think of a name for that major glitch, you know.
yeah,
Maybe someday.
yeah, I'm not really sure, but anyway, hopefully that doesn't happen. Especially on Cara's side, as like the major favorite in this matchup.
Definitely. Let's see the VS pickup 335. Yeah, so when you look at the two PBs here on screen, obviously there's like a 15-minute discrepancy. That's pretty tough to overcome for the unfavored runner here. What do you think you'd do to stay in this race and make it competitive?
Should try your best. in in speedrunning, it's really, from my experience, just not that common for upsets to happen. Like if you're watching
Right,
if you're watching Hollow Knight any percent tournament spring 2025 March Madness,
right.
um, and you're like expecting like, you know, your college basketball March Madness levels of upsetting, it's probably not going to be here.
Hmm.
Um, just because it's not as there's not really a level of player interaction between them, so they're kind of both just doing a run, and the nature of that is that like the person who is like, not only does your PB go down, right, but as you get better, but your consistency does too, and so the frequency at which you can just match your PB, it gets more and more common. So it's really quite rare for like a big upset to happen.
Yeah, I'd agree, especially based on what you just said that like you're not really interacting with the other player when you're speedrunning. I know some players will keep the stream open to see how far ahead they are and maybe play a little safer, but all in all, you're not like on the same court or the same field competing against each other. You can kind of
Yeah,
just do
I've
your own thing.
when I was playing in the Celeste any percent tournament, I would keep the stream open to know what strat. I had a couple strats that I would like change depending on if it was really close or if I was just like notably ahead. If I'm so far ahead, you just don't really need the time save. You just rather just finish the run. But if if it's a close match, you sometimes opt to go for some of the harder stuff. I'm sure there's definitely an opportunity for some things like that in Hollow Knight any percent as well.
For sure. Let's see. So Kara's hit all of her skips so far. See how
EO has
EO
to
does.
gather 9 soul instead because there is no baller skip on this patch, which
That's
means,
right.
yeah.
There you go. Nice. Yeah, also for people in chat asking, by no means am I a tournament official, but I can't see why there would be a rule against watching the stream. It's not like rando or bingo or anything where like there's mind games or an element. Like you're kind of all doing the same thing, just checking paces. So yeah, I don't know. I'll just say I'd be surprised if it was banned to watch the stream while we're running because I don't think
I
it
would
gives
be
you much of an
more
advantage.
surprised if it wasn't encouraged to watch the stream, to be honest. Like, it's kind of part of the it's
Yeah,
already like by nature we're trying to race against each other, which is like, that's why you're holding the
right.
tournament, right? And there's already gameplay wise zero level of player interaction, and so like you're
Mhm.
really looking to like maximize that as much as possible in any way.
Agreed. Ooh,
I
unlucky from EO there, actually. I don't know if you saw, but he misses the fireball skip. Gonna get
Oh,
the
that's
squid
tough.
back up here. Yeah, loses quite a few seconds there, but nails the backup. Cara's gonna go over here, not getting VFK because we don't do that anymore, and we haven't for years.
Of course, of
EO has
course.
this, of course,
It's been
as
some
all
time now. We
it
haven't
really
gotten VK
has.
for some years.
I know, probably. I mean, before my time, even honestly.
No, it wasn't that old.
Nah, it's true. I did VFK for like the first 2 years I ran this game.
Yeah, I was doing that for a while as well.
Right. EO having to stop and heal too. Definitely going to lose a little bit of time doing that, but it's certainly faster than taking a death if you're worried about your health. So we're going to see the first boss fight that isn't a pushover. Well, relatively. Cara taking on Hornet here.
I'm sure Cara will execute this completely flawlessly.
Not a single mistake yet. Perfect.
And there's no need to worry about dying either because she's on 3 HP.
Correct. Absolutely. There, that's a good kill. As you said, no need to worry about dying. Then EO's going to keep moving through VFK room. See if there's any deviations in route here. I'm admittedly not very familiar with 1-4. Okay, so going to do VFK. Oop. Misses the first fireball. That can kind of cause an issue. Yeah, it gets harder to collect the Geo if you don't kill VFK right over that platform. Yeah, see, it kind of scatters all over here, and that's unfortunate. You have
Yeah,
to,
it's a little bit of an issue.
yeah, it takes quite a bit of time to
Back
collect
again
all of
now.
that.
They got all it.
Yeah. Chat asking me what I think about fast Hornet fights. I'd say 14 seconds is a pretty good Hornet fight, a decent, acceptable Hornet fight. But I don't know. Maybe it's different these days. And speaking of Hornet fights, we're gonna see EO going into fight Hornet right now. Now Hornet does take an extra hit between staggers on later patches of the game. So it kind of, I know that it's like a casual viewer that might sound like, who cares, but it does change your combos and your strategies quite a bit at the higher levels.
Yeah, it's also just harder to trap her because like
Right.
on 1-2-2-1, when she takes 5 hits to stagger, you just kind of hit her 5 times in the corner before she can go anywhere, and then she stays in the corner ideally the whole fight, as long as she doesn't give you like a big jump.
Right. We'll see. Cara here doesn't have enough soul. Oh no, she does. Okay. Oh, doing the LP pogo on 1-2-2-1. You love to see it.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that in ages.
I know, right? You love to
Actually, I
see
don't know if
that.
that's the LP one because it looked like she still pogoed the explosion. That was like
I think
fire
she.
pogo, but reverse.
Yeah, and nailing the mantis early control. Well done. EO gonna be heading into fungal himself right after.
Oh, was an LP one. Okay, I thought she pogoed the explosion. The LP one that I'm familiar with is the one where you pogo the spore itself and you don't use a fireball. I think that's
Yeah, like
Panta pogo.
Pantapogo, yes, if you don't use a fireball. Yeah, yeah. A lot of times now, LP, there's so many different variations of E-Pogo these days, but most of them on LP involve some variation of fireball stalling. A good drop from EO here. No hard falls, no mishaps. Cara's going to be making her way over to open the stag, and then we'll kill Gruzmother. EO collecting quite a bit of soul. Again, for LP runners, you usually see some fireball stalling going on to hit that E-Pogo. since you can't pogo the explosion itself. Let's see.
Interesting. Interesting.